Hello and welcome back to the channel, welcome to my home. So I was trying to think of the best way to do this, and I think a live chat is the most immediate and best way of bringing you the news, the breaking news. I've literally just turned on the TV and seen the video put out by Catherine, the Princess of Wales, about her health. So I'll show you that video in a moment. But she has announced that she has had a cancer diagnosis. We don't know what type of cancer, but we can imagine that it is connected to the abdominal region. So I'm not going to try and speculate on what that is. But we do have this new news. Now, there were rumblings earlier on today on social media, including X, that there was going to be a major diagnosis coming out, not a diagnosis, a major announcement coming our way. And I didn't know whether or not to believe it, but here it is, it came. And we actually got to see a video of Catherine directly speaking about what she's going through. Now, what I will do now is I would like to play I would actually like to play the video. So let me just work out the best way I need to mute myself for a moment. So I will play it and then we will talk about the message. So if you haven't seen it already, here it is. Hang on.
I wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you personally for all the wonderful messages of support and for your understanding whilst I've been recovering from surgery. It has been an incredibly tough couple of months for our entire family, but I've had a fantastic medical team who've taken great care of me, for which I'm so grateful. In January, I underwent major abdominal surgery in London, and at the time, it was thought that my condition was non-cancerous. The surgery was successful. However, tests after the operation found cancer had been present. My medical team therefore advised that I should undergo a course of preventative chemotherapy, and I'm now in the early stages of that treatment. This, of course, came as a huge shock, and William and I have been doing everything we can to process and manage this privately for the sake of our young family. As you can imagine, this has taken time. It has taken me time to recover from major surgery in order to start my treatment. But most importantly, it has taken us time to explain everything to George, Charlotte, and Louis in a way that's appropriate for them and to reassure them that I'm going to be okay. As I've said to them, I am well and getting stronger every day by focusing on the things that will help me heal in my mind, body, and spirits. Having William by my side is a great source of comfort and reassurance too, as is the love, support, and kindness that has been shown by so many of you. It means so much to us both. We hope that you'll understand that as a family, we now need some time, space, and privacy while I complete my treatment. My work has always brought me a deep sense of joy, and I look forward to being back when I'm able. But for now, I must focus on making a full recovery. At this time, I'm also thinking of all those whose lives have been affected by cancer. For everyone facing this disease, in whatever form, please do not lose faith or hope. You are not alone.
Okay, so there we have it. It's quite shocking because we were not expecting the thing to be wrong with Catherine would be a cancer diagnosis, especially when we were told in the very, very early stages, of course, that it was not cancer related. So what I think happened was she was obviously ill, and over probably the Christmas period, and maybe even before, it could have been kind of a pre-existing illness that maybe Catherine's had to deal with for a while. And it sounds to me like she had some trouble and some issues over the Christmas period, and then obviously she went in for an operation. At the time, the medics obviously advised that they did not think that it was cancerous, which is why we had the initial statement saying that she was going in for major abdominal surgery and that it was not cancerous. We were told categorically that it was not anything to do with cancer. So what the Princess of Wales is saying is that at that time, they did not think that it was cancer. They removed, or they did the operation to whatever it was. I mean, I don't really want to speculate, but it sounds like obviously it's something in the abdominal region. They did tests on whatever it was that they operated on, and they then found out that it was cancerous. So, the palace did not lie to us. This is what I'm trying to say. My immediate thought when it came on the TV that it was cancerous was, oh my goodness, they lied to us. They haven't lied to us. At the time of that statement, it was correct. They did not think that it was cancer at all. And then obviously subsequent tests showed that it was. We know that there has been so much strain on Prince William. We've seen him literally rocking back and forward. Everything is falling into place. Everything is making perfect sense now. The behaviour of William and Catherine and the royal family over this period, it's all completely understandable. And I think a lot of people will now feel, oh my goodness, I cannot believe that they put this much stress and pressure and conspiracy around something that they were really trying to deal with. So initially, it was kind of operate, go into recovery. Then what we think is around the time, do you remember that William pulled out of, I think it was it King Constantine's memorial? He pulled out of some engagements, and we think that was when the cancer diagnosis was made privately. And of course, they hadn't told the children. So at the time of the Mother's Day photograph, the children hadn't been told. We believe that the children were either told yesterday or today. So they've had to choose their words very carefully. Obviously, they do not want to scare or frighten the children. Catherine said in the statement that she is well. So it looks to me like the original operation for whatever was the issue worked. It was successful. They then found that I'm thinking that it was something that had been removed. So whatever they had removed, they obviously had tested and found that it was cancerous. So it has been removed, and she has started preventative chemotherapy. We don't know if it's chemotherapy via tablet. We don't know if it's chemotherapy via the usual route. But you can have chemotherapy via tablet, and she's in the early stages of this, which is why they made the announcement now, because the children in the UK are just about to break up. In fact, today, Friday, they break up. A lot of children in the UK break up for the Easter holidays, which is 2 weeks. So rather than letting the children face a barrage of questions from their friends at school, they thought it would be better to coordinate this release now at the very start of the Easter holidays, so that the children will have 2 weeks to get used to it. They'll have 2 weeks to answer questions, 2 weeks to have answers from William and Catherine, so that when they go back to school and they are faced with questions from friends, they will have much more of a rooted understanding of what is going on. So I think it was the best timing to announce it. And we did need to know. As the public, we definitely did need to know. The conspiracy theories were flying, and she's now taken the same steps that the king did in announcing the diagnosis. William has been going through so much. And it all makes sense now why he has looked so tired, why he has been rocking, why he has been missing certain engagements, why he has been putting his family as a priority first. This is huge. This is major. This is a complete and utter shock. Someone just said, what is her diagnosis? She has cancer connected to the abdominal area. We don't know exactly what it is, but my first initial thoughts were bowel. I think the initial operation was to remove maybe a blockage or a section of bowel, and then they tested and then found cancer. Now that is me speculating. I will be very, very clear. That is my own personal thoughts on what it is. What we do know officially is that tests were done after the initial operation on whatever it is they operated on, and they found that there was cancer. So she's having preventative sort of follow-up chemotherapy, which is basically to mop up any of those cells that may be remaining in the body. She says that she is well, and I think we do have to take that at face value. And, you know, one thing that we definitely don't want to be doing is scaring the children, because that is not what anybody wants. The royal family is going through a health, turmoil crisis at the moment. The king is, imagine 2 major working royals going through cancer treatment at the same time. It's unheard of. By the way, thank you to all of the people that are watching now live. I wanted you to have all of the correct information that we have. If you want to watch the video again of Catherine announcing, it's on the BBC, it's on their own YouTube, it'll be all over social media, so you can go and see that. Understandably, I think she looked like someone, who's been going through a bad patch at the moment. And just imagine the shock of, having that diagnosis. She looked perfectly well at Christmas when we last kind of saw her at Sandringham, and then, we have this. Cassie says bowel makes the most sense with her severe morning sickness through her pregnancies. Yes, she has had issues with kind of sickness and that type of area in the past. Laura says prayers for the Princess of Wales, beautiful Catherine and her family, also for King Charles. I just keep thinking what pressure and stress Prince William has been under, and he has been viciously attacked by Harry and Meghan supporters. I don't really want to bring Harry and Meghan into this, but he has been, and Catherine, viciously attacked by Sussex Squad supporters, and I have to highlight that because it's been shameful, absolutely 100% shameful, the way that they have hounded William, saying that he's been having an affair, saying that he's leaving her, all the rest of it. You know what they've been saying. It's been absolutely horrendous. And then now to find out the real reason why he might be rocking back and forward during an engagement, because he's so tired and worried about his wife and his family. Everything makes perfect sense now. So the Sussex Squad are just showing themselves up for being vile. And the antics. I mean, again, I don't really want to bring Harry and Meghan into it. I'll talk about them on another day. But just really, really quickly, the antics of Harry and Meghan over this period, whilst they have been going through this, is just despicable. Shana says, I wonder if it's something reproductive. It could be... We don't know. All we know is major abdominal surgery, and obviously what they found is connected to that. Right, I just need to deal with a troll. Just bear with me 1 second. Thank you so much to Kate T, who has donated to the channel and says, the attack from the Sussex Squad fans has been awful. Appalling. All across social media, all the hashtags, all the hate, all the conspiracy theories coming from them. And now that we know the truth, I think, well, I hope, they've got egg on their face, to put it mildly. So going back, I just want to sort of touch on a few things that Catherine said in her message. So I'm just trying to bring all of that up now. And we do understand as well that the Prime Minister was informed as well. So I'm going to kind of read again some of what Catherine said, and I will dissect it. So she said, I wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you personally for all the wonderful messages of support. Yeah, and I'm sure she has had so many outpouring of letters and thanks and support on social media, despite all of the conspiracy. She says it's been an incredibly tough couple of months for our entire family, but I've had a fantastic medical team who have taken great care of me, for which I am so grateful. In January, I underwent major abdominal surgery. Now, she has herself now said that it was major surgery. I said it on this channel, many people have said the same thing. The reason why we were not going to see her until Easter was because it was major surgery. That was even before they knew that it was cancer. So at the time, it was thought that my condition was non-cancerous. So we are very, very clear. The initial statement was true and correct from the palace. The surgery was successful. However, tests after the operation found cancer had been present. My medical team therefore advised that I should undergo a course of preventative chemotherapy, and I am now in the early stages of that treatment. So we are not going to be seeing, I don't think, Catherine returning to any type of full-time duty like she was expecting herself to after Easter. I think the recovery time and process is going to be much, much, much longer, and we completely understand that. She said, this is, of course, has come as a huge shock, and William and I have been doing everything we can to process and manage this privately for the sake of our young family. As you can imagine, this has taken time. It has taken me time to recover from major surgery in order to start my treatment. So she recovered, obviously found out what it was, and then has had to start treatment. But most importantly, it has taken us time to explain everything to George, Charlotte, and Louis in a way that is appropriate for them, and to reassure them that I am going to be okay. As I have said to them, I am well and getting stronger every day by focusing on the things that will help me heal in my mind, body, and spirits. So she needs to recuperate. She needs time. She needs time at Adelaide Cottage. She doesn't need this media scrutiny that's been going on. She doesn't need the conspiracy theories. And just imagine the strain of all of that Mother's Day photo debacle when you're going through this. That was not good. Having William by my side is a great source of comfort and reassurance too. And if anyone says anything about William from now on, they are just horrendous, horrific people. As is the love, support, and kindness that has been shown by so many of you. It means so much to us both. We hope you will understand that as a family, we now need some time, space, and privacy. We understand, we do, we understand, we absolutely do. While I complete my treatment. My work has always brought me a deep sense of joy, and I look forward to being back when I am able. So that's open-ended. She hasn't said now a timescale, whereas before we had a timescale of Easter. We now have an open-ended timescale, and we can understand that. But for now, I must focus on making a full recovery. At this time, I am also thinking of all of those whose lives have been affected by cancer. And I do know that there are approximately 3 million people in the UK currently living or going through cancer and cancer treatments. For everyone facing this disease, in whatever form, please do not lose faith or hope. You are not alone. And that ends Catherine's broadcast. I think it is important to note that many, many people's lives are touched by the same issue, regardless of what type of cancer that might be. And the princess is dealing with it in the best way that she can with William by her side. I think when she has recovered and when she is back to full-time royal duties, I think she will definitely be helping and supporting cancer charities. Whereas before, her focus was on early years. I still think she'll maintain her early years focus. But I think now there will also be the sort of impact of cancer and cancer treatment and charities that she can add, because she now has first-hand experience of this. Let's go up and have a little look. Janet says, I hope Piers Morgan and Stephen Colbert either disappear or get on their knees and apologise to Catherine and William. I think there are a few apologies, more than a few apologies owed. Kanani says, we cannot lose Catherine. She is a diamond. I hope she fully recovers and lives a long life. She says she's well. What we know, again, I will reiterate, whatever it was has been operated on and removed. The tests on whatever was removed have come back cancerous. She's now in preventative treatment. She will have the best doctors. She said she's had a fantastic support of medical team. So we can, I think, trust that she is going through the best treatment and having the best care that is possible. Life Happens says, as a survivor of cancer and DVSA, I send much love to Catherine. Yes, I think we all do. I think I can speak on everyone that is watching now and on everyone's behalf who has ever watched this channel, that we wish Catherine the fullest of recovery, and we hope that the children are taking it as good as they possibly can. Trisha says, agreed, some of the media outlets and their hosts of shows should be on their knees right now, begging Princess Catherine for forgiveness. Indeed. Indeed. Right. Let me just check if I have missed any sort of new updates. So, yes, cancer has touched the royal family in the last year. We have had the Duchess of York, Sarah Ferguson, who's had 2 cancer sort of bouts of cancer. She had skin and breast, and of which she is now, in recovery from. We have had the King with prostate. The King, sorry, we don't know what's happened with the King. The King went in for a prostate operation, and then they found that there was a cancer in tests. So it is not prostate cancer, but he has had a cancer diagnosis. And now we have had Catherine with something relating to the abdominal region. So cancer has touched the royal family. It does really, really highlight the fact, again, of the amount of working royals that we have. We are seriously depleted in terms of working royals. I really don't want to keep bringing Harry and Meghan into it, but it is going to sort of beg the question, are Harry and Meghan needed in the royal family? Personally, I don't think we need to go there, but there are going to be a lot of questions asked about how many working royals we have. And when they say, Princess Anne is stepping up and the Edinburghs are stepping up, they can't really step up much more. They already do so much. I think it is time to bring in Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie. Maybe even, I've always thought Zara and Mike might be really good as well. There's also Peter Phillips, Princess Anne's son, who could potentially be brought in. So there are younger members who could be drafted in. I think it would mean giving up some of their own employment endeavours, but there are people that we could go to before going down the route of having Harry and Meghan. And I'm sure a lot of people will be very opinionated about that issue. So yes, Prince William did pull out of the memorial service for his late godfather, King Constantine of Greece. That was when we believe that Catherine had the diagnosis. So when he pulled out for personal reasons, we now know what those personal reasons were. And again, he had so much criticism from Sussex supporters and in the media. Not from me, I didn't criticise. But we now know what that was for. So Kensington Palace has asked people strongly not to speculate on what cancer she has. I think that is a bit of a lost cause. I think people are going to speculate. But like I said, what we do know is it's sort of in the region of abdominal. You are never going to stop people from speculating on social media. So yes, I'm going to go back to the comments and just read really quickly what people are saying before I go. So if you do have any questions about this, please let me know now. Explore with Domi says, thank you for your professionalism and your kindness and how you share your thoughts. Thank you so much. Melinda says, I am in shock. I am an American, and as soon as I heard this incredibly sad news, my tears began to flow. We love Catherine, and my thoughts and prayers are with her and her family. Such tragic news. Well, I can reassure you as much as what Catherine did, that she is well. She says that she is well. Do I think it's going to stop speculation? No, I don't think it's going to stop speculation. But at the moment, we know that she's been operated on. We don't know how early it was caught, but they certainly didn't think that it was cancerous at the time of the operation. So I think that kind of indicates that it was caught early. Then obviously, if it was caught early and the results came back as positive for cancer, she's now undergoing the treatment early. So that all looks good. And we all know that if you can catch and treat early, then you have a really good chance with most cancers. So I hope that will be a reassurance. Jackie says the younger ones only need to work for the royals on a temporary measure. They don't need to for life. No, they don't. But it would be sort of medium to long-term temporary, because obviously George, Charlotte and Louis are still young. Harry and Meghan are likely not to return to the working royals. Prince Andrew is not likely to return to the... Sorry, did I say Harry and Meghan are not likely to return? Prince Andrew is not likely to return. So there's going to be a kind of, 20-year gap, if you like. So no, they don't have to do it for life, but certainly until George, Charlotte and Louis are ready, we're talking about 20 years, basically, before George, Charlotte and Louis undertake full-time working royals on behalf of the nation. Charlotte says, thank you for your truthful news. You can be trusted. Thank you. Christine says, nobody wants the despicable duo back. They don't, but it is going to ask questions. It's going to raise questions about the depleted royal family. Robin says, healing prayers for Fergie, King Charles and Princess Catherine for a speedy and complete recuperation. Like I said, we are in unprecedented times, going through all of this, all three of them at once. I don't really know how they've all managed to keep things together. The king is still working, Catherine is, getting on with life behind the scenes, trying to deal with this, trying to still, raise a family. It's been tough. It has really, really been tough. And I seriously hope that a lot of the pressure has now been eased with regards to the conspiracy theories. So now that we have a diagnosis, I think the media and... Well, to be honest, I think the media knew, to be quite honest, because I think that's why they've been so respectful in respecting Catherine's privacy. I don't necessarily think the foreign media knew, but I think the British media may have had an inkling. Oban Scott says, hopefully the York daughters will be more active with public duties. I hope so. Rose says, why are we bring those who should not be named into this conversation? Because they will be brought into it on social media, and there will be, mark my words, there will be a call from Harry and Meghan Sussex Squad supporters for them to come back to the UK and have their cake and eat it. They will want Meghan to keep her American Riviera orchard, and they will want Harry and Meghan to keep with their money-making endeavours and still come back on a part-time, ad hoc basis to do royal work. basically what Harry and Meghan wanted from the start. I don't think that is going to happen. I don't want that to happen. I know you guys don't want that to happen. And I don't think the royal family want that to happen. So I think the chances of it happening are zero. But the pressure is going to be on with social media. So be warned, it will be there. They will be rallying their troops, and there will be a social media blitz of bringing Harry and Meghan back. And I just don't think that is going to wash, my loves. Granny says, I don't think the press has been respectful. They have been cruel. Social media kind of people have been really cruel. I think for the British media and the British press, they have been crueler in the past to people. Celebrities, royals, they have been crueler. I think in the absence of not being able to say what was wrong, that is, of course, if they knew, I think they had an inkling. They have been kind of going with all the other stuff that they can report on. So rather than it being a complete blank out, which I think would have actually raised even more suspicions and raised even more theories, because if there was a complete blank out, people would have gone, the press know, and it's bad, which is why they're not saying anything. So I think what they have been doing, although it's not been 100% favourable, and they have been commenting on what's been said on social media, which has been hateful and cruel, I think they could have been worse, is my opinion on that one. The Royal Recollection says, bring the royal cousins in. I agree. Claire says, Harry and Meghan, and then there's a swear word from you, the bed, and now they can just sleep in it. I wouldn't take them back into the royal family on a bet. No. Be warned, be warned. The BL says, social media has been brutal. It has indeed. And Janet says, the media should have gone after the trolls instead of joining with them. Well, unfortunately, the trolls aren't famous, so the media is only going to go after the people that are famous and that are going to get clicks and views. So that was never going to happen. Polly says, the Sussex squad have been horrendous and we know who pays them. There are allies. There are allies, definitely. And all roads lead back to Montecito. Okay, Blue Stitch says, in all the bad news of Kate, let's put our differences aside. If Harry wants to come to help his family, leave it alone. You have too much hatred. Right, I think I'm going to leave it here. I've said all that there is to say at the moment. Just be warned of, people putting out really false, fake stories on social media. The Catherine video is out there. It is on the main Kensington Palace Prince and Princess of Wales YouTube channel. It's also on BBC News, so you can go and watch that yourself. I urge you to listen to her own words, and I urge you to think about the children, because they are the most important in all of this. Healing prayers, healing thoughts, healing vibes go out to Catherine and family. So thank you for watching this video. It's one that I didn't really want to have to make, but here we are. So I will talk more about this tomorrow. Thank you for watching this video. If you have weirdly enjoyed it or found it useful, found it informative, please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media, and of course do hit the bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video. So from me, until next time, mwah to you all, and goodbye.